Last question. What is a quote that you live by?
Boy, a quote that I live by. I'm a Christian. I wear it on my sleeve, so quotes would probably always be Bible verses. I'll give you two. One is actually not in the Bible, it's more mythological, and one is actually in the Bible. The first is not in the Bible. It's "This too shall pass," which was actually, people think it's in the Bible, it's not. But it's King Solomon's phrase, which is really amazing when you think about it, because it's good no matter what season of life that you're in. If you're going through the worst of times, this too shall pass, and things are going to get better. If you're going through the best of times, though, it's really humbling. This too shall pass, and this will fade away, because this will not last forever. So I love that.
And they don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a time transcendent truth that applies towards all periods as an entrepreneur. It humbles you when you need it. It builds you up when you need it. Gives you hope when you need it. It also gives you a little bit of a dose of a gut check. One of my favorite verses, though, is Romans 8:28, which says that God works all things for good for those who love him.
September 10th, 2025, a day that will live in infamy, a turning point for this nation, and a shot heard around the world. Charlie Kirk was murdered in cold blood in front of thousands of students at Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah, and millions around the world had to witness the grotesque scene that was caused on that campus during that day. It was the start of Charlie's Great American Comeback Tour at Utah Valley University, and Charlie started it out like any other day, just getting out of his car, greeting thousands of students, cheering his name, cheering on his movement. And he was able to throw out MAGA hats to as far as he could see in that crowd, and then walked up to the tent. And little did he know this would be the last time he would take that mantle of being able to hold a peaceful dialogue with students in the way that he did. Charlie started answering questions from eager students, talking about his faith, talking about the overall state of our country, and talking about violence in our country, especially political violence. A week before or so was a young Ukrainian lady who was killed on the subway in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Charlie was talking a little bit about that situation, and he was asking about crime statistics, and then the shot that sparked the revival across America. I knew Charlie since 2021. At first, I was just a small town boy from Prescott, Arizona. I was 15 years old, getting involved in the political scene. And the first time I met Charlie was at an event with 75 other people, where I eventually met him at the headquarters after an event. And he just said to continue my faith in God, continue my faith in my drive and work ethic to what I was committed to doing, and to just actually make a difference once I had reached my goals, and to ensure that I continue to grow upon them. And so from that point on there, I'd started working with Charlie slowly throughout the years in more of a work capacity.
We're on our way to Arizona State. We're going to ask some people about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Are they going to keep it respectful, or are they going to try to defame his name, throw some false accusations his way? We'll find out.
Hey, how's it going, man? We're doing a quick little documentary on the passing of Charlie Kirk, what people thought about him. Would you be interested in talking about that? Do you have opinions on that, or?
Charlie Kirk?
Yeah. Do you know him at all?
Yeah, I know.
You know him? Would you like to? It'd be real quick, man. You got time or no? Oh, you're good, man. Have a good one.
We wanted to figure out how the community felt about Charlie Kirk. He made a big impact at Arizona State, and we wanted to find out, what do the people feel about him, and what information have they received on his death? Are they hearing the facts, or are they hearing the lies?
How's it going, man? We're doing like a quick little documentary on the passing of Charlie Kirk, what the community thought about him.
Gotcha.
Would you be interested in doing a little interview?
How long would that take?
Dude, just a couple minutes.
Couple minutes.
We'd mic you up and we'd get right into the questions. So what'd you think about like his views, his policies? What'd you think about that? Do you know about it?
Yeah, I know he was saying some stuff that could be considered pretty right. I think to each their own. Everybody should be able to say what they want without anybody judging them, or I guess to that extent.
What's the international perspective on Charlie Kirk?
I don't think there is a huge perspective on him. He's not as mainstream media there as he is here. when he passed, a lot of people were obviously deeply touched just on the fact that the U.S. is seen as free speech, freedom, say what you want, you can't be judged by it. So I think that's what touched people a lot more, is just sort of taking away that freedom to say what you want.
Would you be interested in doing a quick interview?
Yeah, sure.
Just really quick, it'd take a couple minutes. Thank you. Okay, so how long have you known about Charlie Kirk, like as a person? How long have you known who he is?
I want to say like 3-ish years. Oh, I didn't really agree with his ideology personally. Especially with like trans rights and like just like human rights as a whole, and also with like his gun violence, stuff like that.
His positions on that?
Yeah.
So how do you feel, what emotions did seeing, I'm sure you saw the video, what emotions did those invoke, seeing that, like just the brutality of it?
Honestly, I was shocked at first. I think like a lot of people, you don't expect that like a high position, like someone is going to like kill another person. Like you don't really expect that in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I personally didn't really feel bad. Personally, I just think like a fascist deserves to die. Like a good fascist is a fascist that
my
dies.
question would be, what would make, what qualifies him as a fascist specifically?
I feel like I guess his ideology, like a lot of the stuff surrounding him as a whole, like the racism, sorry, I'm really nervous.
No, you're all good. You're doing fine.
Just a lot of his ideology, I suppose, is why I would.
So, but he likes to kind of pride himself on being similar to maybe how the founding fathers saw the world. Would you describe our founding fathers as fascists?
Yeah, yeah.
You would?
Well, maybe not as, but like I do think a lot of their stances were very like fascist.
But in what way? Like specifically, like
human rights and stuff.
Yeah, like what's just like, but like name
Sorry.
just like no, you're good. Just name like one thing, like just one stance he had that was like that is enough to qualify him as a fascist. Like just specifically. Do you know one?
And not at the top of my head, no, I'm sorry.
So do you
I
think
wasn't really.
You know, but do you think it's like fair to kind of proclaim that this man is a fascist if you couldn't even name something specifically? Like fascism, that's a pretty damning term. You would think that like you would just know inherently like what would make them a fascist, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Like if you believe like a fascist deserves to die, like what about Charlie Kirk's rhetoric?
I guess the way that he, like his like Second Amendment, like where it's like anyone and everyone should have a gun. I guess I don't really agree with that.
A fascist community would want people to not have guns. They'd want them to not be able to protect themselves from an oppressive government, right? Wasn't the Second Amendment put in place to protect us from fascism?
No.
Then what was it put in place for?
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so after Arizona State University and how we interviewed all those people, we then went to the Turning Point headquarters, which was about 10 to 15 minutes away from campus, and we went there to meet up with a colorful character from Down Under named Peter. And he is one of the best journalists for Sky News that they have to offer. And I had actually known him from the previous election cycle where I did an interview in front of the Arizona State Capitol about the election, actually a few days before November 5th. And so that's where I'd gotten to know Peter. That's where I'd gotten to know a little bit about Sky News. And I just happened to run into him again at the Turning Point HQ and was able to talk about the impact of Charlie Kirk and what it means really globally.
University's Carson Carpenter. He was in fact the ex-president of the College Republicans, and he joins us on the program now. Carson, it's good to see you again. We spoke to Carson here in Phoenix, Arizona, during the election last November. So again, good to see you.
Great seeing
You've
you.
got a number of stories when it comes to Charlie Kirk. So you come across him a number of times. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It started in 2021 where I first met Charlie at an event about 75 people. And I actually met Vice President J.D. Vance before he ever ran for office there. And me and my dad had the pleasure to meet Charlie, and I was 15 years old. And I said I wanted to go to Washington, D.C. and make a difference for a congressman. And he said, keep going with it, but above all else, keep God and faith above everything that you do. And whether it's politics, whether it's business, anything else, that was my first impression of Charlie.
And you worked here at Turning Point.
Yes, absolutely. Earlier this year, I worked here as an intern for my degree at ASU, and actually caught Charlie in the parking lot about 4 or 5 months ago, and we talked for about 20 minutes, and he just really hammered home that I need to be an amazing boyfriend to my girlfriend, an amazing husband one day, and an amazing father once I get that, and blessed enough to have that opportunity.
So is it fair to say you were inspired by him?
Absolutely. He was someone who was larger than life, literally. He was a very tall person, but had a very kind heart, right? He was someone who just showed extraordinary intellect, but also compassion at every turn. And whether it was working for him, being inspired by him, or just having a relationship bringing him on campus, he was truly just someone who, as we see here, is larger than life.
We just heard some of the viewpoints of students down at ASU, and some liked him and some didn't. I mean, probably it's fair to say more people liked him than didn't, I should say. But why do you think, from your point of view, he was so successful in energizing a youth crowd and a youth vote?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was because of his accessibility, especially to the people in power like President Trump and J.D. Vance. He was the mouthpiece for a lot of college students. College students could wake up hungover at 12 p.m. and walk to Charlie Kirk's tent and ask him any type of question, and maybe they changed his mind on an issue, maybe they didn't. And then from there, he could be the mouthpiece to some of the most influential people in American politics and the most influential people in the world.
What are the viewpoints of his that resonated most with you?
I think it's his faith-based journey, right? And I think he grew into that aspect where at first it was activizing political organization, and then we saw in the last year or two, especially with what happened to President Trump and Butler in 2024, his message went more towards faith-based. I think Peter is just someone that's larger than life, and I think Charlie Kirk also had that element to him where he was a very big figure, but he also had a very big intellect and a very big heart. And that was very evident with his family, with Erica, with his children, with his Turning Point organization. He always put other people first, and he always put his creative intellect in a way of how he could help other people. And when I was doing that interview with Sky News Australia, that was a point that I mentioned, is that conservatives tend to create for others. They tend to create opportunity for others, compassion for others. And the left doesn't really do that too often for people. They really focus on themselves, their own identity, and their own feelings and emotions. So when I worked at Turning Point, it's a very quiet street usually. And when we rolled up, it was very, very busy. The street was closed off. There was police there guarding the entire place so that people were safe at this time of grief. And when we walked up, there were flowers piles high. There were items that Charlie would have loved. We saw a Oregon crew neck that was there that Charlie would have loved to wear because Oregon was his favorite college team. And it was just a scene of mourning, a scene of remembrance, and just a place of really honoring the work that he had built in front of his two headquarters for Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action. It was just kind of a vigil to honor everything that he had put his labor into over the years. Once we were done at the memorial, we started walking back to our car, and we ran into this colorful individual named the Cross Man who wanted to hand each one of us a cross. And he rides one of these little motorcycles that has all of this branding on about what he does, and he just spreads the name of the Lord. And he wasn't even attending the funeral. He just came to pay his respects from Las Vegas down at the Turning Point headquarters. So after we had a very nice dialogue with him, we walked over to tables and tables of merchandise that were off to the side where everyone had to park because the road being closed. and they were profiting off of this whole entire memorial. It was separate companies that were selling stuff. It was separate merchandise that was being sold there, MAGA branded gear. It was Freedom branded gear, but it was knockoff Freedom shirts. It wasn't even Turning Point branding. And it was just kind of a shame to see that people were profiting off of coming and paying respects for a man like Charlie, who had such a impactful, just an impactful experience on everybody, especially when going to a scene like that.
The one with that, not that.
Bring one of them over.
Hey, what company are you guys with?
Universal Design, this gentleman.
Okay, thank you.
Very cool. There's Jack Posobiec.
Oh, there's Jack.
Oh, we could get it.
Yeah, so Universal Design, those are the ones trying to profit off Charlie Kirk's death. So if you ever consider buying a shirt from them, just know that. Keep that in mind.
Friday morning, we got an email from Turning Point's media team, I believe it was, and they let us know that we were approved for a press pass. Pretty big deal for us. Very small, kind of up-and-coming media company to be able to cover an event like this was huge. We woke up Saturday morning and we had an interview with the Australian Financial Review. Me and Carson, it was just a, vocal interview for a newspaper, a print newspaper, and it went pretty well. Interviewer was cordial, answered the questions well, and we continued throughout our day, went to a dinner party with a few conservative influencers, and there we found out that we never got the follow-up email from Turning Point. We were pretty much left in the dark on how exactly we're supposed to pick up our press pass and what we're supposed to do the next day. People were receiving emails on where to park, what time to show up, and we were still in the dark. And then it was tipped to us that, hey, you guys need to go out to Glendale like right now. The press pass station where they're handing them out has been open for around 12 hours at this point, and we're severely behind. We have to be in Glendale at 4:35 a.m. the next day. It's 11, and we have to drive out to Glendale in order to pick up these press passes. We were really crunched for time, but ultimately we made it happen, and we're super grateful that some of the people at that dinner party were willing to cooperate with us and kind of help us guide us through this. This is our first time as a company doing this, and meant a lot that we were able to make it happen.
So we got approved for press passes, and we've heard nothing for the last day and a half. So we just talked to Jackson Gosnell, and he got us some information. We're on our way out to Glendale to get those press passes. It's all very it's moving pretty quick, but we're hopeful that we can get inside.
Amen.
Yeah, so we got there around 11:30, I'd say, or closer to midnight maybe, and that area was locked down. Freeways were closed in certain areas. Many of the roads were closed, and traffic was beginning to pile up. That's when we found out that people were lining up already, camping outside the stadium to get a good seat. Security was extremely tight. There was watchtowers everywhere. There was police cars patrolling the entire area. It was completely locked down. The Renaissance Hotel is where the press station was, and that place was buzzing. There was journalists, there was celebrities, there were so many people there. As it is the closest hotel to the stadium. And so we were able to go pick it up pretty seamlessly from there. Everything worked out. We were extremely grateful that it did. So we left the Renaissance Hotel, and it was about an hour drive home, stopped off at gas station, had to fuel up for the next day.
The way you open the door is so tough.
What'd you get, buddy?
We're ready to go.
Come on.
On breakfast too. I don't know what. Maybe Cheetos.
I stop at McDonald's in the morning.
Dude, that's what I'm thinking. Look,
Yeah, I think that's the move. Think so?
get a little coffee.
We got home and we started prepping for the next day. We started packing up our equipment, making sure all of our devices, all of our batteries were charged. And so I didn't fall asleep until around 2 a.m. Unfortunately, I tried to make it happen a little earlier. And I had my alarm set for the next day at 3:40 a.m. And so we did not get a lot of sleep. It was pretty rough. So we got back to the apartment around, midnight, 12:30, and had to throw everything together, get our devices charged, get our batteries charged. And I didn't fall asleep until around 2 a.m. and we had to get up at 3:40 the next day. We were exhausted.
Real. We're as prepared as we can be.
Doesn't get much better than that.
What's up? Just filming.
Well, no, even when I come here during the long
After second. So that's the only time they walk me.
Yeah, a bit of a tight squeeze.
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
we're all in, but I'm kind of used to that, I guess.
Yeah. Get comfortable.
Do you know if there's going to be food in there?
Oh, there better be, man.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have to.
In the press area, getting ready to walk into the stadium.
It's all good. Yeah, we just got to the press area. We're leaving to the stadium in about 15 minutes. Should be cool. It's packed. It's packed, bro.
They're bringing out the dogs, not the little puppies, the big dogs.
Dogs are gonna come get us, bro.
And then they're gonna drop a waypoint.
And they're putting us at the drop point, bro.
At the drop point, like COD.
Where's
I saw him.
What's up, brother?
All right.
They were in early. Taylor one?
All right, we got to get to 122. That might be where the green room is. That might be, we don't even know.
Water.
Yeah, water, finally. They just said to go down an escalator, so guess we'll see where it takes us. Maybe it'll be like the golden escalator, right? I mean, I don't know.
The lighting's so perfect in here.
How's it going, guys?
Hey guys.
Oh my God, yes, we get to take off. That is great. Yeah, let's keep going. And Dasani just has salt in it. Never drink Dasani water because they put salt into their water. I disavow Dasani water. It is horrible. No, this is amazing, man. Just to honor Charlie like this, I mean, with a full stadium of people, I think is like something he would absolutely want. To change that many lives where he can fill up a 75,000 person stadium and do it in this manner, I mean, it just shows a lot about who he was. That is. This is the real Taylor Sharp, baby. Ben.
When'd you guys get here?
What?
When'd you guys get here?
At like 3 a.m.?
Really?
Yeah, like 6-7 hours ago. Hey!
Are you gonna get down? Get more?
Yeah, we have to talk to somebody first, but they're almost here.
Just text us.
They just got off a plane.
Anyway, we are here at Charlie Kirk's amazing funeral. It is so grand, obviously, and on every seat down here on the floor, they have a poster for Charlie. They also have Kleenex, and they also have a rubber wristband that says, "We are Charlie." And they also have a quote from Isaiah 6:8 on all of the posters on every floor seat, and I believe on every seat in the lower bowl has this same type of message on it. It is obviously hugely faith-based here today, and Charlie's political activism is underscored to what his faith meant to him. And so let's get up closer to the stage here. But obviously there are so many politically prominent people, faith prominent people, and just prominent people from the entire United States, from every sector. They love Charlie. Crowd. So we're up here up front. Obviously up on the stage it looks like there's some type of bulletproof glass in front of the podium, so they are taking extra precautions at this event. And look at this stage. I mean, this has to be one of the most beautiful stages I have ever seen, just with the type of tapestry they use, the type of graphics they use. They pulled out every stop for this event like they should to honor Charlie. And these areas up front are for reserved people that I'm assuming knew Charlie personally or had a personal connection in a way that would be like any other funeral, would be in a way that they knew him very well, they were involved with his ventures a lot. And up here we have closer media for a lot of the TV cameras that are going to be covering it for the speech.
Well, good morning, everybody.
And then we also have work.
This morning, we're so thankful to have you here. We celebrate the life of our friend Charlie Kirk. One thing I want to
There are a lot of different people here. One of them is Nick Shirley, who's an online phenomenon for going on the street and talking with people. He is one of the people that is just going out there and having the courage no matter what is kind of being thrown his way. And he's been violently attacked before in all types of scenarios. And we just have people from every type of culture, every type of faith showing up to this event. Good. Hey, we're with the company Off the Record USA. What is keeping you to have the courage, even after what happened with Charlie, to go on the street and have these heated conversations with people?
Oh, just to know it's important to keep sharing the truth and give people the opportunity to speak about what they think, and then if it's wrong, you gotta tell them what the truth is. So, the work does not stop.
Absolutely. Okay, see you around. It's noticeable, a lot of the people here are political activists. A lot of the people here are people that were involved with Turning Point, that were involved with Charlie. It's way bigger than just a small family funeral. It's something that's really bigger for an entire movement of people, like he is the great American martyr. This is Brick Suit right here. So that was Brick Suit, who walked on the 2024 campaign with President Trump, and he was actually at the Butler rally where President Trump was shot in the ear, and he was in one of the first few rows and had to see it live in person. It just shows volume that he's here today to actually support Charlie and the movement that he was able to do. It's just extraordinary how many people are coming out for this from all walks, like Brick Suit said.
But Charlie's mission above all was aimed directly at those who aren't married. He named his organization well. He knew things were not right with America, and especially with young people, and they needed a new direction. Charlie passionately wanted to reach and save the lost boys of the West. The young men who feel like they have no direction, no purpose, no faith, and no reason to live. The men wasting their lives on distractions, and the men consumed with resentment, anger, and hate. Charlie wanted to help them. He wanted them to have a home with Turning Point USA. And when he went onto campus, he was looking to show them a better path and a better life that was right there for the taking. He wanted to show them that. My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men just like the one who took his life.
Look. There you go.
And we just got out of the Charlie Kirk Memorial, our first time covering an event as a company. We think we did a pretty good job. We have some things to improve on, definitely. But overall, the memorial was great. It was a great service. Lots of great speakers, and just an event we may never see again in our lifetimes. A man that made the impact that Charlie did, and the amount of people there to support him was just pretty incredible.
Over 200,000 people showed up, which just shows the crazy influence that Charlie had for Arizona politics, but also national politics. Planes were full of people flying into Sky Harbor over the weekend, just coming out to support Charlie. And we talked to a couple outside of a Best Buy when we were getting equipment that drove from Las Vegas for this event. So it just shows the waves that Charlie had for all of the people that he influenced, and it shows the continued impact his message will still have for future.